Okay, here's the trade setup of the day. This market coming in, getting whacked. Then all of a sudden a signal pops up. So what do? You could buy right there in the signal right there. Signal happened at, it says, let's see, what time is that? 3:24 p.m. Okay. It's Friday, January 30th, 2026. That happened back at that time. You go long here, put your stop down in here. This is the para indicator and my towers indicator for sale, $500 cash. You get the indicators through the your email, and that's the end of the transaction there. No refunds. So if you want this indicators, set them up on your chart. You put SPY over here. That's how you trade this. You just need 2 charts. Set it up. 1600 ticks. Use tick data. If you want shorter signals, put in 800. Don't go too short on ticks for the SPY. But on your options, and you set up your options contract differently, you put 133 ticks is a good tick amount for your option signals. Right there, boom, right there. What time? What time was that? 3:24. Okay, both alignment, 3:24. 3:24. Trade of the day. Crosses over the para. Very important move to show that this thing has ended a big down trade. Is also opportunity to sell short over here. This one ended up much better. Trade of the day going in the last half hour of the trade. Last half hour. Bang, that thing took off. That was a good trade. So there you have it. It's trade of the day right there. Got the signal, boom. You go in at 40, about 40, going on the signal. You even pull back. You can still get it for less than 40 down in here. This thing takes off. Bang, gone. You take your profit up here, double up easily, double up. So 40, 80, 120, 180 by, what time is it in here? So maxed out at about 180, 190 at 3:49 p.m. Wow. Wow. Many X your money. If you went in on 10 trades, 400, 800, right? If you had 10 trades, 10 contracts at 40, all right, 40 or 35, 10 contracts, 40, 80, 800, 1200, right? Bang. Bang, more than worth the system. If you have a big account, you could trade 10 option contracts at a time. Set your stop loss right here. If you do this, practice first. Learn the limitations that you have. Learn your setups. Practice. Be robotic about it. Abide by the rules that you set. You could trade up in here, put your stop right there. Look, the stop would not trigger if you put it at your signal right there on this trade. If you did it just like that, mechanical thinking. Bang, hold, get at least double your money. Aim for triple, right? Aim for triple. Get at least double. Try to get at least double. Okay, the stop holds. There's no reason to fold, right? There's no reason to fold. You can even do something crazy like once you get up in here, put a stop loss up here. That way you're trapped. You're trapped in for the gain. Then when it goes up here, look, you can put your stop back up here. You just keep moving your stop up as it goes up. After a few candles close, you could come up here, put a stop right there, adjust your trade, right? Let it go up, adjust your trade. You're going to lock in those profits. You adjust your trade, and then when it gets higher, you start getting tighter. You know, your candles close, you move it up here. Candles close, you're up here, move it up there. Goes up here. All right, boom, you're stopped out at 150. Lots of money to be made there. You have to be fast and react to it. You can't just sleep on it. So, all right, you want this indicator? I will send it to you. There's no refunds. You got to send me Cashapp, $500. You get the para indicator plus this indicator. All you do is set it up on your chart. 1600 ticks for tick chart over here. You're going to cut and paste the indicator just by edit studies. You just do edit studies, create new indicator, paste over that, name it. Do it for each indicator, add it to your chart. Then for time frame, for SPY over here, you do split screen. Split screen over here, split screen, you choose 2, split. That's all you need. Don't concentrate on anything else. Concentrate on what you're trading, whatever it is. Just have the underline, and then you have the instrument you want. Look for signals. You could always switch this over here to puts or calls, depending on what you want to trade. Watch the market over here, then adjust. What is this going to do? Well, you got to be quick. You know that you're in here. If you're in here, you know that right now it's a short market, so you want to watch for the reversal. You want to be paying attention. You want to select a contract that is near in the money. Then you would be coming over here. You'd have your contracts ready. Get the ones that are expiring today. You want a quick trade. You don't want a long. You don't want an expensive contract that's way out there. You don't want to gamble. You don't want to put more money. These contracts are expensive. You just want to get in and out, try to make some fast money, and set your stop loss. So you pick out a contract. So you're down in here. You get a signal, right? You're ready. You're ready. You're down in here. What contract do I get? Okay. You're here. You're at what? 689.50, right? Well, a couple points out of the money. It is likely that could happen. I'm also going to get a good price on this contract because it's a couple points out of the money. You're only putting up $40 on the trade if you just do one contract. All right, then you set your stop loss over here. All right, because based on the signal, the low is over here. Okay, that's a tight stop loss. Okay, there's not a lot to be lost because you set your stop loss. You pay 40, you're going to only come back with 25 or less when your stop loss is triggered. So even if you didn't trigger a stop loss, you didn't set it, and you just traded one contract, you're out a max $40, which is a lot of money. Of course, you don't want to do that. I'm just saying that if you set your stop loss down in here, you could do like 20. All right, you paid 40, set your stop loss for 20. You want to save some of that capital back. If it doesn't go your way, if you don't want your stop loss too short, okay, set up over here, always 133 ticks. All right, you could do less, you could do more, you could put over whatever you want actually, but for options contracts, I go 133. All right, that's 133 ticks per candlestick. It makes more sense than doing minute. It just comes out better. Sometimes the markets start moving really fast on the SPY. It can get crazy, and the chart will move really fast. So over here, you want at least like 1600. That's what I use. Okay, so you have a signal lining up on both. This is the best of both worlds right here. You have perfect signal. Okay, coming in, you're all set up. Bang, set that stop quick. All right. Preferably right here, tight stop, right there, just right at where the lowest candle is, just before the setup. You go in, look at this, para goes under, setup, perfect. You just keep waiting and waiting until it goes up to at least double profit. Then you adjust your stop loss to, like, say, up in here, right? Up in here, once you get double, you're up here double. See, if you're up here double, then you put your stop loss up here. You have that gain trapped in. You let it develop some, let the candles normalize some, right? It's moving it up. So let's say it goes up to 120, then you lock that in. Move that in, 120. You're up in here, and then it's doing all this stuff. Then you get tighter. You're getting way up there. You can move it up to 140, right? And then this goes up, It is a possibility it keeps going way up, when you do it like that. You just got to be on it. You want to be on it. You don't want to walk away from your computer when you're in a trade. You want to manage that thing, and you want to make money, and you want to minimize your losses. So send me $500, send you the indicator. You're set up to trade. Best indicator out there, best setup for trading options. No refunds whatsoever. Don't try to